What releases have you got coming up, and how do you keep up such a punishing pace?
But we should start with the second part. How can you keep up with such a quick pace?
So the first reason I can keep up with it is because I'm doing this full time. I started doing this full time when we started Red Room. Before it was just a collaboration, freelance stuff. So that's one thing. Another thing, I work. I wouldn't say 9 to 5, but it's more than that.
Yes.
I work long hours, and I have also worked at the weekends, and I haven't had many holidays this year.
You made it sound
no, because it's not tiring. At least it hasn't been. Well, sometimes it is, but usually I haven't.
You don't feel like you're doing a job.
Yeah, I don't feel like.
Time, right?
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm working. I feel like I'm doing. I'm working in my hobby, which is different. But it's in fact a job, and.
But like I think we already said this, that probably the way that you're used to, the pace that you're used to working as a journalist, also helps.
That obviously helped, and I was very used to do boring stuff. So some of the stuff that I'm doing now, it can be boring, editing stuff and some parts of the layout, not writing, but.
Usually, editing my tests.
Editing is always a bit boring. So that kind of thing I was used to, and I'm still used to it, to do boring stuff. So I can endure it probably better than most people. I'm not an artist. I don't look at this as an artist. This is just, I could be at the very best. Like, this is a craft. It's a craft, it's not art, so I don't look at this like something very special. I don't know, I'm producing stuff, so if it's good or not.
And you have that thing, I have a deadline. You decided this needs to be ready at the day X, and it will be ready at that date.
Ready at that date. Of course, now I don't even do that because I don't really need to, but
I think it's automatic.
Yeah,
I think you do it automatically.
Yeah, I don't really say that or write that I have to have this ready on day X or Y, but eventually it will be. And if it's not really in that day, because I allow myself certain leeway in that, because I really know nobody's expecting.
Nobody ever expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yes, and the Red Rooms.
Some books.
But still, I end up doing and especially when I'm working, I'm doing something that is interesting and that I'm enjoying it. Unless I start having height trouble or I have to go somewhere, or so, I just keep on doing it, and I stop when I have to go to the gym or to have lunch or to have dinner or when the cats are bothering us. Other than that, I just keep working, and until now, it's still fun work. So I'm going to go on doing it as I'm doing it right now, as long as it's not boring.
And you have extra. So I'm lazy, but now and then I write stuff. So that helps because it's someone else writing.
Yeah, there are other things, of course. Joe Coombs wrote some stuff. Now he's not writing as much as he was before, but
he's also very fast. Yes.
Yeah, he was also very fast. So I used lots of his what should I call it? Not necessarily books, because I published some of his books, but some content. Yeah, some content in other books. I used your content as well, and I used full scenarios. That I had to adapt a bit because I had to include rules in it. It doesn't do it.
Now I do characters. Now I do more rules.
We also published 2 scenarios by Oliver.
He also doesn't do rules. I don't know if he's doing it now. A bit.
And he's doing again now.
Yes. OGGM did Vigilantes.
Did 50% of the Vigilantes, and is now, well, he's already done one source book that will be published. we are already going into the second part of the question, or the first part of the question. There will be a source book for
Coming out soon.
Yes, next week. Well, next week probably when this goes online, it will be already there. So that's actually not news anymore. We also published a bestiary by Lord Matthews, and
well, we had other people collaborating. Manel wrote something.
Yeah, some content.
He's going to write more content. Judd wrote
a story that's
Richard verse, and I'm trying to figure out if more people wrote. Well, Dick Pound
wrote his game.
I'm trying to see
that's another
if
thing.
we forgot anyone. I don't think we forgot
No,
anyone.
there were people that edited stuff, but that's different. Editing is just editing. Perhaps
that's something that I can say as plans that we would be interested in having more people writing stuff for us, so that you can save the time from writing and just doing the editing in the layouts.
Well, I talked about writing some things with some people, and well, now we can go into the other part. There are some things planned. I talked about doing a 2d6 version of Wretched role-playing game. That's probably on the work right now, but I'm not going to say who is doing it or if it's going to be done, because I don't know.
That's
it's
in
the
table.
Yeah, it's just something that just started. We've talked to OGGM about him doing more stuff, perhaps a bestiary as well. Other than I suppose that we'll keep on doing stuff
At
for
least
Vigilantes.
one more source book.
And and I think he should, because I'm not really big on superheroes, and he is, so that's something that he should keep on doing. Maybe after the superheroes, he'll start doing other stuff. The bestiary probably, because he was already doing creatures, his minions, so he's probably, that's something that he likes to do, so probably all that as well. I talked about what else? It's some other people. Oh, well, yeah, Oliver is doing a new game setting in this case, which will be called Wretched Shambara.
It's going to take place in
Japan.
In Japan, well, not Japan. Right, it's Bastard's version of Japan. Or is it really Japan? It's Japan. I got lost on that.
No.
So it's Oriental, Wretched Oriental Adventures.
So it will be exotic and mysterious and wretched. Joe Coombs is always planning stuff, so there will be at least. He doesn't like to do scenarios, so probably most of the stuff he does, it will be either included in other games or Wretched Versus with some kind of team. So that's.
I'm trying to finish a Wretched Verse for New Flash, and then my big project after that, well, big, it's going to be a setting for Darkness that we don't have. I want to explore Emmettville as a setting for, and now to develop the part of the dark urban fantasy part of the setting.
I'm going to write a small game setting set in Portugal in the Belle Epoque, which will be perhaps a full book, maybe a Wretched Verse, depends on the size of it.
And you're working on Space, the second edition.
I'm working on the second edition, and I will keep on doing other second editions. The next one will probably be New Flash, I believe, and then Darkness. Exploitation will never be a new game setting like that. There will probably be an anthology of adventures that are all in the same in the world of exploitation movies. I have planned also doing more cities in New Flash. I actually invited the owner of the channel to write one city, so I'm not going to talk about that. I'll probably try to get some other people from other countries to write cities in their own area, if I can get. If not, I'll just write some more myself.
And And I guess we always have a lot of plans,
Yeah,
at least a lot of ideas.
Yeah, there are.
But I guess these are the main
plans.
ones.
These ones are the next things that will be. Some of this may not even be.
I don't think the problem with us would be the lack of ideas.
Yeah, there
It
are
would be
many,
people
many
getting tired of us.
Yeah, and also as we said, we want to have more stuff written by other people. So if people want to write something for Ratchet, I will be willing to accept discussing it and publishing it, of course. So yeah, there are many plans as usual. I can say that there are at this moment there's just one thing to be released and already done, but it will probably have been released when this certainly will be have been released, which is the source book. Bad guys always lose. Maybe when this is aired, the news will be good guys never win, which will be the next thing for Ratchet Vigilantes, but there are other stuff planned in the meantime. So I think we have mentioned.
Yes.
We usually don't. I'm not shy about talking about stuff that will flow. Which is just, why? I think I'm thinking that it's probably better to tell it earlier. So if something exactly similar appears as it has happened, we can say we announced it first.
Yeah, we're not copying that.
We're not copying. Yeah, this is not plagiarism. We announced it before. It's there on that video. So there's no problem about that. If something doesn't get released at the time that we previewed or
we don't really preview times.
Yeah, we're not
we'll
previewing.
say, yeah, maybe
it will happen. So, probably everything we talked about today will happen.
Yeah.
Some of the
maybe this year.
Maybe this year, very likely this year. Some of the ideas we have in her notebook. Most of them will probably happen. Some of them might just turn out to be
some of my ideas are turning to be plot hooks in another book, so I don't have to write them.
There's another thing that I can talk about because that will be probably something that I will do this year still, which will be something for Ratchet, of course, in the after Epoch and before the World Wars. So that will be
Ratchet Interlude.
Yeah.
That's the working title.
Yeah, it's not interlude, it's interbellum.
Yes, interbellum, yeah.
Between wars. So, there was another option which was before, but probably it's more interesting.
Yeah,
between the wars.
Between is more interesting.
It could it could have some years before, so it could connect. But yeah, it's during the war or after the war. So, but between the two wars, the big ones, as Archie would say.
That would be the name also between the two big ones.
Between the big ones. That sounds a little bit dirty.
Yeah.
So I think we've covered everything, right?
Yes, we did.
And assuming this will be the last video, that's I don't think anyone has had the patience to endure this. Why not? Maybe. Who knows? Okay, let's take care of the cats. She's bothering us.